Okay, so let's learn how we can scrape websites to extract any tables from any website using Python. How cool is that? And you know what's cooler? Even if you're a beginner, you can do it. It's so simple. And that is the beauty of Python. Let me show you. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a venv, a virtual environment. This is a Python concept. What I'm doing is creating a sandbox, a little isolated space for this application. So when I install libraries or code from the outside, then I'm not installing to my whole computer. I'm only going to install to this application. So first we need to create that venv, python-m to run as a module, venv, and then I'll give a name to this. And I'm going to call it Python table venv. There you go. I'm going to press enter. And what it's doing is creating a folder that, as you can see here, it's populating with a bunch of folders and files, which will make Python create an isolated environment for me. However, it's not just enough to create, you have to activate it. All I need to do is go Python table venv, which is what I called it, then navigate to scripts, activate. Once I run that, you'll see that my command prompt has changed to Python table venv. That's how I know in which virtual environment I am in. The first thing that you're going to need to install is Pandas. You may have come across Pandas before if you use Python. Pandas, it's a superstar, super cool, super popular library. And it doesn't come by default with Python, so you need to install via pip. Pip is the package manager that comes with Python. So I'm gonna install by using pip install Pandas. We're gonna wait for that to finish. Cool, it's done. So now what we want to do is have a Python file so we can start coding. So I'm gonna switch over to this folder, not the virtual environment folder. And then I'm going to create the app.py file. That's just standard Python stuff. And we want to import pandas. Import pandas as PD, just to have a shortcut. This is where the magic starts. You will see how stupid easy this is. The first thing we need to do is select a web page that we are going to scrape. I'm going to take this one here. It's a list of keywords in the Python programming language. So we're going to extract this table here into our program. And what we're going to do first is copy the URI, because guess what? We are about to paste. So we're going to create a variable called URL, and this is going to have the URL that we want to connect to extract those tables. Then we are going to use Panda, and guess what? Check this out. All you need to do is go pd.read HTML and passing the URL, and you're done. No joke, done, right? You don't have to worry about making the request yourself, consuming the data payload that comes back, none of that. Panda does everything for you. You just need to use the function read underscore HTML, passing a URL, and you're done. And I'm gonna print this to the screen to prove to you. Of course, I need to capture the result, So let's create here a data variable. So data equals the result of that. And we're going to print the data. Now, what we're going to see is that it's not exactly necessarily pretty. So we're going to see how we can prettify it. But if you just want to consume the data, then that's fine. You're done. So I'm going to go Python app.py to run the program and then give it an enter. And then, guess what? Boom, there it is. We had to do nothing, right? All we need to do was give it the URL, and Panda did everything else. It looks ugly as hell, but it's done. We got the data. As I mentioned, this is not exactly pretty. So what we need to do is actually install something else to make it pretty. And there are a few options. My favorite one, whenever you want to make tables pretty in Python, is to use tabulate. So what we do, we go and install tabulate. Pip install tabulate. There you go. Cool, it's done. So what we need to do now is use it. Very easy. Once again, we just need to import. So we're going to go from tabulate, import tabulate. And tabulate is just a function. So what we need to do with this is passing the data to this function that we want to format and then give it formatting options. So I'm going to create another variable here called pretty. And that is going to take the result from the tabulate function. And then we are going to give it the data. Like this. Then we have a formatting option. So the parameter for the tabulate function is table format FMT, it abbreviates. So table FMT, and I'm going to give it the style of pretty table, which is fancy underscore grid. And then we are going to save, and then we are going to run. Not that. Let's see what happens. Oh, error. Why? Because data contains all the tables in that website. We need to select a table, right? Right now, it's not really recognizing the format as a table to be able to prettify it. So I'm going to pick the first table that I see. I'm going to run it again. What am I doing wrong? So we need to print the pretty thing, not the data. Duh. So let's do that. Pretty. There you go. Now we can see what's happening. Boom! It looks beautiful. Okay, let's have a look. There it is. So we went from this ugly thing to this beautiful thing. The table is fully formatted. It looks beautiful. And you can do whatever you want with it. Do you want to convert it to a PDF? I don't know. Do you want to just have it on your screen? Maybe a little very crude dashboard? I don't know. Your imagination is the limit with Python. How many lines of code was that? Almost nothing. I will caveat this by saying that it's not that smart and every table comes out looking very pretty. For example, let's pick this one. So it's got a table for top rated games. As you can see, it's quite a complicated table. It's got critically acclaimed games and a bunch of other tables here. If we try to actually do with this one, it won't be so successful making it that pretty. It will still look a little bit wonky. But of course, you can play around and try to get, nice formatting from it, or just use the data itself if that's all you care about. Word of warning with scraping, make sure that you can actually scrape the website legally. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. What am I doing wrong? Oh, I'm not pretty. Right. With Python, your imagination is the limit. Stop.